It's ADSN on the beat, where the data meets the street. James and Daniel in your feed, breaking down the code you need. Tech talk, ad game, and a little AI. Every week we got the chat on ADSN.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Rundown. It's the week of August 25th. We are doing this show live, in person, together.
Live, baby. Here we go.
I can't believe we did it. I like that our heads are now going to be equal height. If anyone watches the show live, it really drives me nuts. But anyway, we're here. I'm James. We got our host, Daniel. I've decided you're the host of this thing.
Incredible.
Where are we starting?
We got a great one today. We're going to start with Nico Muyo, who found on the True Classics website that they're actually selling on their homepage in the Hero live video, which I thought was incredible. This is like TikTok shops on the homepage. You go to trueclassics.com and there's somebody like demoing a shirt. It's like QVC on the website. And basically he asked, like, has anyone else seen this? Who else is doing this? This has to crush.
It's funny. I've like seen it. I saw it like years ago. There was a startup called Firework that did this.
Yeah.
Right. It was like an embedded SaaS solution. Jeff Lucas, the CRO. I don't know what happened to that company, but it's basically the China-fication of e-com. Yeah. That company, Firework, was based by a guy started by a guy in Hong Kong, and was trying to take it all here. I don't think this thing is like the answer, but it's cool. It's great for TikTok. It honestly makes me just think Instagram needs to figure this shit out.
I think it's a fun little test. There's like a little QVC widget now on these sites that, like, obviously Amazon has it. I don't think it's going to change it, but I think it's a fun test for a company like True Classic to do.
It's funny because it's like on one hand you have like live shopping, all this stuff's going to come, and it's like it's so human to human, or it's so directly engaging, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the agentic commerce thesis, which is like you're basically just going to have this robot do all the shit for you. It's like very weird that those are the two prevailing e-com thesis right now, and they have like nothing to do with each other.
Yes.
You know?
You've got like dogmatic people on both sides that think theirs is the absolute future.
I know. And then I was thinking about this yesterday. You know, if the agentic commerce thing is like going to happen, right? Which like maybe it could. All it really is back to the subscription box of e-com.
Yeah.
Because it's basically an agent going out and buying. It's like a personal shopper. It's going out and buying you a bunch of stuff, and then you're going to return what you don't want.
Yeah.
There was like Birchbox. There was this whole like of the mid 2010s.
Like, yes, I remember that.
And like the
video games, snacks, niche snacks. Yeah.
I don't think the personal shopper like thing stuck for a reason, and so I think the TikTokification QVC thing strikes me as more likely to actually happen now than agentic commerce. I am partly convinced by our friend Eric Seufert, who made this argument to us.
Yes, we'll have that episode out soon.
We will. Of our new show.
30 minutes.
If you watch it on 2X, it's only 15 minutes.
All right. This next one coming from Levels.io in response, or actually Nikita Beer responding to him. Nikita basically was responding that he was saying, you know, there's all of this fake news now, fake go-to-market, fake motions and marketing. And Nikita basically said, everyone overthinks this. At X, he wrote the press releases. He wrote the go-to-market 20 minutes before they actually announced things. And he said there's, you know, nothing every week, right? There's speed and there's a focus of how to do this. And you're just making incremental improvements, which I thought was amazing for a company of X's size. But you see it.
I mean, you know what I think about this.
Yeah.
It's like 100% correct.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, there's two things. One, it's this classic sort of like, if it sucks, no one will notice, so who cares?
Yeah.
Two, there is this terminology that's thrown around now, which is called retard maxing. And that it basically is this, which is like, Andreessen really made it like popular.
Yeah.
And it's the whole idea that like, you can't learn without doing, so just go do and stop overthinking it. And I've been at big companies, small companies, most of them.
I thought you were going to say you've been retard maxing.
No, I have been. But I've been at a lot of different size companies, primarily with you. And the amount of effort you put into a launch has almost no correlation to the success.
Yeah.
Like, so I think Nikita's nailed it. And you got to give him credit. There's no, outside product leaders of our time that have not stayed at one company.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't count like Adam at Instagram. You can't count like the Google, YouTube guys.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of Nikita. And then I hate to say it, it's Celis.
I don't know why you hate to say it.
I just don't want to give him that much credit because he beat me at golf recently and he doesn't deserve the win. But you kind of have these people who are like, and they definitely, I've not worked with Nikita, I've obviously worked with Celis. And Celis and Nikita worked together at Discord.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nikita worked for him. And I bet you they had a pretty similar thought. We'll get Celis on 30 minutes to talk about it. But Nikita's right, and hopefully Nikita's getting some rest. I heard the X job was intense.
I can imagine. But I think one more thing. I mean, the more we talk about like attention is the only thing that matters anymore, and everyone has shorter and shorter attentions. This feeds into it. Like nobody, to your point, nobody cares for more than 2 minutes here. They're going to see it, and if it's great. They're going to take action. If it's not great, they move on.
And there's a compounding effect that people don't appreciate. It's like the more noise leads to noise in a positive way, and so it's just so hard to get like in the sort of zeitgeist. And you have to give. Probably the best example I've seen in recent time is the guys at Vibe. Right, It was just a steady assault. And then at some point it became
they were everywhere.
And like they may not have been everywhere all at once, but that's kind of fun. Yeah. But it felt that way because it was just so consistent. Yeah. So I think to that point, ship, launch, Retard Max.
Retard Max. Okay. This next one you sent me from Natalie Winters, an exclusive breaking that in very unsurprising news, I'd say. But Chinese institutions are building AI models of American voters and testing political messages on them. So basically building out scenarioed models using AI so that they can test different messaging and see what would actually happen if they did this in reality.
I mean, they're like doing it in reality. I think people just should be aware. And again, I'm sure all sides are doing this. I'm sure we try to do this, but like in our own way in other countries.
What do you mean? We have done this pre-AI. Yes. This is a novel tech and implementation, but not a novel idea.
On the LLM perspective. Yes. But I think the fact that like if you talk to most YC startups or any like our friend startups, that they are in some way, shape, or form using Chinese open source models.
Yeah. And
the fact that those models could be conditioned to give answers back that are pro a foreign adversary's political agenda. One would think maybe you don't want to do that, but it's super clever. And, I think it's still like, I saw on...
Hot take. I actually don't think this is clever. We've talked about CPG companies doing this with measurement companies to like, to model out what consumers are going to like based on...
I think it's clever. I think it's clever for two reasons. One is this country has gotten a bunch of consumer products into the hands of American users. So like, if you're doing this here, you're definitely doing this on the TikTok feed.
Yes.
Right? That's why it's clever. And everyone thought this was happening. It's happening, right? And even actually just happened, and like, this one's pretty controversial, but Spencer Pratt just put out this like 10-minute video that like was not, it was kind of tough to watch. Not like, regardless of the content, it was a very serious subject. I won't get into it. Okay. But TikTok just banned it out of nowhere. And it was basically talking about how TikTok is making everyone crazy. And they just banned it. And so you just like, at TikTok, like we talked to friends about this.
Left breadcrumbs all around and nobody's picking them up.
It's still Chinese run. And so I'm not trying to make it political, but it's an interesting argument that why maybe we should have open source models that don't have political agendas.
Novel idea.
Anyway.
All right. This next one coming from Olivia Moore, who's basically at this point a staple in our weekly rundowns because she's putting out great content. Olivia, if you listen to ADSN, let's get you on 30 minutes. I think you got a lot to share. She posts another chart basically showing the dramatic rise of token use by agents. So AI using AI relative to people using AI. And so her caption is the case for building agent-friendly products.
Yes. I think this makes a lot of sense. One thing though that I think, I was trying to think of a good analogy of like when like the internet started or software, like you could argue like the biggest consumer of the internet was like computers. It was like software was used by laptops.
Yeah.
Like I think it's kind of like, of course, like when you are in Claude and you're telling it to go do something, it's then doing it, and therefore the agent is consuming tokens. So like it's kind of an obvious thing.
It's like a loop here.
Yeah. I think what really matters here is that you have an API.
Yes.
The key here is that like agents are going to talk to software via APIs. That is like done. That's over.
Yeah.
That will have like weird knock-on effects for how defensible those API businesses are. But I think that's what this shows. And I think if you ever wondered, should you be API first, you should stop wondering that, because that one is just so obvious and done.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Next, this one coming from David Herman, where he posted a kind of a new feature within Instagram where on an ad and some organic, if you swipe up into the comments, they actually preload the site. And so he was highlighting this, just basically saying, does anyone know when Meta started this, and what the performance is like? To me, it was just interesting because I actually did see this in my feed last week, and I had the same thought, like, oh, this is kind of jarring. I just want to look at comments. Now there's comments and a site and a video playing in the background. But going back to Nikita's point earlier, you got to give Meta credit. I mean, they are constantly shipping new features, new products, testing. Like, they're trying to eke out every ounce of value they can out of their ecosystem.
Yeah. I mean, Zuck's going all in on AI, and this stuff pays for it. I mean, you're not going to be a hyperscaler without having these ads work. So I do always, I read something the other day about like Zuck basically can't admit publicly that the key to AI like monetization is ads, which they are doing an incredible job with, because it's so bad for recruiting that really good researchers just call a spade a spade. Like, you don't want to work on ads if like you can work on curing cancer. Yeah. If you have like the capacity to do that. I don't think we have the capacity.
Also, I think Google has I think made a really good argument for, if you can do ads really well, you can go take moonshots that can potentially cure cancer.
But I still think that there's like a pure recruiting issue. So anyway, all to say is that my assumption is that a lot of these testing cycles are also AI driven, which is ironic, right?
Yeah.
It's just like they've gone, and we talked about this at the previous spot. We have a friend that works there now, and he said the onboarding was just awesome. Like, you get access to every model. It's just like, they're so AI pilled. Yeah. In like a productive way. So
incredible for a company that size. But okay. This next one, talking about AI pilled.
I like this one.
You like this one?
Like this one, yeah.
All right. Nice dramatic effect to bring this one in.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this one coming from Stephen Liss, where he wrote Weekend Reading on Industrialization in the 1840s. Stay with me. Artisans railed against competition from unskilled slop workers, using textile machinery to churn out mountains of loose-fitting slop to be sold in slop shops. And he posts a Wikipedia of slop clothing and the definition of it. And I think, obviously, the whole point.
Yeah, no, there's nothing new. I thought, listen, he's just, I think he is like a brilliant guy. Just like, and, it just, again, shows there's nothing new. It's funny to think that slop has entered the lexicon. Like, so it kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. Like, when did AI slop become a thing? But I do wonder if it's some derivative of this, or like why it is. The other one that I was talking to friends about this the other day, and it's obvious, like vibe coding, but also just like vibe in general. Yeah. Like what's like, the
what's
vibe,
the vibe?
In this room.
Yes.
Like, that thing has entered the lexicon so abruptly, and like it's beyond tech.
Right? Oh yeah, that is a social.
Yeah. And someone said that this is a good plug for Snapchat and why they're idiots sometimes. I was talking to former Snapchatters about vibe, the word. Okay. And one of the people was like,
thrilling conversation, but
and one of the people was like, in like 2017, Amy Wasabi used to do those research reports. Yeah. And I guess Vibe was trending. They would aggregate anonymously look at, I think, content, across snaps. And Vibe was like trending even back then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating.
Yeah. And the interesting is, so like they could catch it really early, which actually I think right now, if you were to look at of like public snaps and the content tied to it, I bet you that's the most illustrative like version of that whatever alpha generation that is, you know? Isn't that kind of interesting?
That's really interesting. Mm-hmm. We're catching this when it's late.
Yeah, no,
you know, we're catching it as unks, and we say it, and our kids. And
we are over 80 years old combined.
Oh God!
Yeah, no, we are definitely old men. All right.
So we're closer to the industrialization of slop clothing than AI slop at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This next one coming from Josh Wolf, where he posted an insane video. Super educational about abundance and kind of talking about the history of it, but that he one-shotted it using Claude Code. And if you haven't seen this, go check out the post that we'll link. But it's a full-on motion graphic video that we've all seen in the past. That is like highly produced. You would think this took weeks and designers, and he one-shotted it.
Yeah, it's so easy to build. I mean, like it's so easy to build this stuff. It's so hard to make it good. I will give a shout out to a very good friend of ours, Julius Ross. You should follow Julius on Instagram. What is his handle? We got to put it in the show notes.
Put it in the show notes.
But he basically has started making a bunch of these videos. I think using primarily Higgsfield, and the difference between like him making videos and us. Is what he's doing is he's basically like talking about the certain camera and the certain lighting and the certain
and the angles.
And like he is in his mind there creating it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you're recreating the physical world in this virtual world versus what we're saying is like,
make me a funny video.
But people should check out Julius' work. But yeah, this stuff's amazing. Again, if you're not doing it, you should be. I actually think Chat's the best place to do this stuff. The chat AI, like Images 2.0 is so awesome. Mm-hmm. If you haven't done it, everyone should. And yeah, it's going to be some cool stuff. It actually makes me think our production value needs to be higher now that we're doing this in person.
Well, we need someone who actually knows what to ask.
That's true. Yeah.
It does make me think about, movies where they'd have all those, if you saw the documentaries, all the storyboards of all the shots, before the film. That's basically what these people are doing. Yeah. And then instead of going to film it for 4 months, the thing one-shots it.
A little robot does it. Speaking of robots.
This one, viral, so we have to include it though. Dr. Singularity posted a video and stated, a humanoid just crossed a line humans have never broken, 100 meters in 9.39 seconds, faster than Usain Bolt's 9.58 world record setting pace.
These robot games in China looked incredible. There's so many great videos of it, and it's amazing how fast it all moved. The only thing that it's like a little scary to watch. Like clearly, there's like military applications of this over time.
They're definitely showing us what they can
tech do. And like you got to think. I mean, there's AI in these. There's like some LLM like in their head, and there must be these idiots. Like, why are you laughing at us as we're about to kill you?
Yeah.
But it is amazing. I don't know why they don't have this in the US. I think, Peter Thiel did that like steroids
I was going to say we had that game.
That is so much less interesting to me than this.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really want to watch like so badly is I want to watch, I watch golf, right? Yeah. I want to watch an AI Tiger Woods, not a robot, but like a truly the best representation of Tiger Woods early 2000s play in a tournament. Because and play on the course and you could do that now.
Take the shots.
Yeah.
What would his risk?
Yeah, I just want to see the whole thing and see how he'd do against these guys. Have him and Scheffler play.
That's kind of a fun one.
Yeah, because I think that would be equally interesting. Yeah.
That's a great application for that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Julius,
work on that.
Yeah. Grant Cohen could figure that out.
Yeah, that a fan-controlled AI.
Yeah.
All I could think about, though, with this video where he couldn't stop and ran into a wall and then blew up was, I'm going to date myself, Mighty Ducks 2, the skater who was very fast but couldn't stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I could think about.
Yep.
You're thinking about great applications of AI, and I'm thinking about I need to rewatch D2, the Mighty Ducks.
It holds up well. All right, keep going.
All right, so this one coming from Rohan Dar, saying that if Anthropic IPOs at a $2 trillion valuation, which it is right now, it will be 4 times larger than all of the IPOs in the history of San Francisco combined. And so when or if Anthropic, OpenAI, Databricks IPO, this is the mother of all booms. This is what Rohan's saying. He has a chart here. I
want this to happen.
Yes.
I'm a small investor. And so that would be fun. I also was talking to friends that spend a lot of time in San Francisco. I haven't been up there in forever, to be honest.
No.
They said it's like the amount of wealth that is there is just like unfathomable. And there's a culture there now where like you don't talk about money though. So he's like, it's so lame because everyone's made all this money, but everyone's like kind of like scared to spend it.
Show it.
So it's like so stupid. He was like, imagine if it was a bunch of LA people, it'd be like,
you'd have a Ferrari and be going to catch LA every night. Yeah.
But he said it's like stupid how like the culture has like.
They need to import some folks from LA and New York to show them how to have some fun.
I think when they leave, they like go nuts. All right.
Anyway, okay. And then before we get to primary posts,
yes,
we've got some trading happening on the block these days. As our resident trading analyst, what's going on?
New segment. All right, new segment today. We are going to go over the biggest trades in tech. We have some big ones this week. Follow ADSN on X and LinkedIn if you want to go ahead and keep up with these.
You had some breaking news this week.
We had some breaking news.
Our news team has done tremendous.
The most recent one, very exciting news. Jeremy Voss, Alex Osborne, very early Snap employees. Yeah. Voss went to Meta. Osborne was at Tinder. They have joined Airbnb.
Ooh, what a pickup.
Juan is there too.
Yeah, what a pickup.
And
these are product hitters.
I would be Airbnb definitely just got two of these smartest PMs and they build like beautiful products.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge one. Everyone's got to be aware of. Another former OG Snap, Eric Toda. Eric also went to Meta following Snap, and he was at Gap. And I think he was at Airbnb.
I was going to say, I think he was at Airbnb.
But now he is at another Air, which is their like creative AI agent. He's joining the CMO. Shout out to Toda. And then I think the one that really kind of all of tech is talking about, at least in our circles, Luke Kallis, arguably one of the coolest people in the world that we all know. I think I would
very early Snap, one of the biggest names.
Very
in Snap.
Early Meta. Yeah. Very early Meta. Was at Vivo as well. I think. Arguably, who do you think like is cooler than Luke Kallis? I don't know, like
hard pressed.
Yeah, like
they're probably friends. Yeah. For being honest,
probably friends.
They probably have that same discussion. Who's cooler between us?
But he's joined Agbo. Agbo is super interesting. It is a new gaming company that is founded by the co-creator of Fortnite and the Russo Brothers, who built the MCU universe. So shout out to Kallis. We got some more tech trades next week, but the market is moving, my friends, and it is pretty interesting.
I like it.
Now on to
primary posts. Let's do it.
Primary post. Primary post.
Start off.
All right. This one, I'm going to start off this week. This one coming from Jeff Morris Jr., where he just says warm intros are low agency. You can just ask Lance Armstrong to go for a bike ride. He's got his whole Twitter to then iMessage, where he literally asked Lance Armstrong to go for a bike ride when they were in Maui at the same time. And then he's got a picture of Lance Armstrong. I love this. You know, I'm a huge proponent of cold emails, low agency work. Just go do things. So I love this one. And I think it's a fun, perfect representation of it.
I have DM'd Dalio like 100 times.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep shooting
101, man. 101.
Yes. I love this one. He's got a great fund. LA guy, chapter 1. I like it. On my end, this video is worth watching. Ed O'Neill, I think kind of one of a great actor of our time, talks about him getting the Modern Family role. Originally was going to go to Craig T. Nelson. He does have a little bit of like a slight to Craig T. Nelson in here. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And Craig T. Nelson was on Coach. He played Coach.
Yeah.
No, if you are not born in the early 80s, you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But he goes on to basically talk about how he got the role for Modern Family, and he read the script, loved it. They basically didn't offer him enough money, and he told his agent, he was like, "It's like basically like this thing's a winner. Like we'll start off low, we'll get even, and then we'll get ahead."
Yeah.
And I thought that was so good. And like, you know, I don't want, and I think it's bad advice for people not to get their own value, but it is a good reminder that like, you don't have to like get it all up front. And there's like a game to play, and like he played the game, and I think he made more money than like you can imagine off that. So shout out to Ed O'Neill. I bet you we could get Ed O'Neill in 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do that.
We've got two today that we want to go get. We're going to get Olivia, and we're going to get Ed. Yes. Two ends of the spectrum. So, all right. So anyone listening who knows Ed or Olivia, let's get them on.
Yep.
And there we go. Rundown.
Done.
It's ADSN on the beat, where the data meets the street. James and Daniel in your feed, breaking down the code you need. Tech talk, ad game, and a little AI. Every week we got the chat on ADSN.